could you do in prison? No. Everybody will say, I can't do any time in prison. You know, somebody would tell this story for us this is when I first started out. They said the judge asked the defendant, so how much time could you do in prison? Just let me know. And you know what they said? The defendant told him, oh, I can do 2 days. And you know what the judge told him? You know what? You just look at every time as 2 days increments. And you know what that judge did? Sent that person to prison for 30 years. So on this case, how much time could I send you to prison for?
How much you can?
Yeah.
10 years.
10 years?
Wow.
Do you want to go to prison?
No, ma'am.
Do you want to go to prison because you are not doing what you're supposed to do?
Wow.
And people, well, you're acting as though you do, because people are working with you, and it says your counselor contacted you and said you missed your group session.
Wow.
And then the counselor said, look, I will let you make up those sessions. And your answer to this counselor, knowing you could go to prison for 10 years, was, I don't think I can do that. So do you think you can do 10 years in prison?
No, ma'am.
Then why are you acting like you can?
I live in Universal City, ma'am, and recently I've been just struggling. You know, I've lost my job because of transportation, getting back and forth. There's no public transportation in Universal City. Mr. Sheldon was to live there, you know, and then I've been catching Uber and Lyft back and forth to work to get there, and then that's a lot of money, you know. I don't have it, you know, and then I've been trying to do it. I could get to places, you know, like today I walked from Universal City to Converse to catch the bus to get here today, but I don't have like funds. Like I'm just getting backed up and on everything, and everything is kind of like coming at me at one time, and I don't know. I don't have no help. You know, I don't have nothing.
How old are you?
I'll be 31 next month.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be 31.
All right. So you're going to have to sit down with somebody. And by somebody, I mean probation will help you. You're going to have to get employment and figure out a budget.
I do. I have income tax. I was working all last year. I have income tax coming February 26th. That's going.
Well, I hope you didn't have somebody do your income tax where they take a major percentage.
Notice how the judge pivots to financial coaching. Many defendants fall into predatory tax advance loans, and she knows that if he loses his refund to fees, he won't have the money to pay his court-ordered program costs, leading right back to a violation
of it. And then
I don't know. I just file, you know, I file with her every year. You know, I work every year. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So he's saying he lives in Universal City. Are we aware of him living in Universal City? Did you let them know you lived in Universal City? Okay.
Ma'am, I tried to enroll into the BIB class online due to my transportation issues, but it was $195 to enroll. I didn't have the money. You know, I enrolled in Mr. Sheldon's class.
All right. And see, here's the thing. I understand how finances are hitting you, right?
That's ma'am.
But you know why these financial issues are hitting you and you got to still just deal with it? Because these are consequences for your offense.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you would not have committed this offense, guess what?
I wouldn't be in this
You wouldn't be
situation.
here. Ms. Abrams, with regards to enrollment in BIP, he says he's getting his income tax. So we can give him till March 28th to enroll in BIP.
Was positive for marijuana back in December. So we can see if that's out of the system by now.
Okay. All right. So you're going to get drug tested today,
Wow.
and we're going to see what the results are. And if the results are positive, we're going to have another conversation. But for now, he's to enroll in the BIP on March 28th, and he's to restart IOP. So let me just tell you something right now. You're on probation out of this court. If you want to continue to use marijuana, you're an adult, that's up to you. But using marijuana while you're on probation is not allowed. It's against your conditions of probation. And guess what? You may or may not end up going to prison for 10 years. And when people ask you why you're at the prison for 10 years, you can tell them because you wanted to use marijuana. And I'm sure at the prison, there's a way that people can make their marijuana. I know there's a way that people can make their alcohol if they so choose to imbibe, but you will be at the prison. And guess what? At the prison, you don't have to worry about catching but one bus. And you know what that bus is? The bus from the jail to the prison. So I am not going to tolerate any more excuses from you, because if you can find time to do marijuana, you can find time to get to Universal City. I don't want to hear this nonsense about I had to walk from Universal City to Converse, because guess what? Those are consequences from being on probation. You need to get a job, and in your job, you need to include reporting to probation and doing your treatment. You should have been done with treatment, but no, you're missing classes. Any other place, guess what they would have done? Maybe issued a warrant for your arrest instead of having this conversation, and you'll be taken into custody and you will be brought out where you will have to make bond. If you don't make bond, you'll be brought over and we will hear the allegations. Either they're going to be true or not true. And if they're true, you're looking at potentially 10 years in prison. So it's up to you to make the decision of whether or not marijuana is worth 10 years of your life, potentially, or 1 year, or 5 days. You understand? So do not come back here before trying to get tea and sympathy from me. You understand? So you entered a plea of true to violation of condition number 2 on September 9th. The state waived all other allegations. The court found violation of condition number 2 true, and the case was recalled for today.
Judge, in meeting with Mr. Moody, his is a case where it's never an excuse, and he wants to address the court directly, and I've advised him you will allow him to do that. But he shared with me, he originally is from California. He has 2 daughters who are 5 and 7. He resides with the mother of those daughters, and their relationship is not the best. And that's, in my opinion, why he's here today. The court knows about the new number 1 that was ultimately rejected. 2019, his sister passed away. 2020, his mother took her own life. 2020.
The defense is employing a mitigation strategy by listing a string of family tragedies. While these are objectively horrific, judges often look for how the defendant reacted to the grief. Did they reach out for help, or did they simply stop reporting?
It doesn't seem like I'm learning, but I'm trying, Ms. Boyd. I acquired my license. I never had a license. I've been trying to get myself together to be to successfully complete this probation, and I've been trying to do everything the right way. I try to steady myself. I try to take care of my family. I struggle with financial. Nothing that none of the stipulations have anything to do with me not doing it. It's just I haven't had money. I don't have no help. Everything is through me. I'm my own support. I've been here with my baby mom for about 8 years. We've been trying to get it together and work it out and fix it. I work and support. It's just I can't do. I don't have no help. You know what I mean? The outpatient program. I've made an effort, even from Universal City, to complete those classes. I walked from Universal City to make sure I wouldn't violate that. At times, sometimes I had the money, sometimes I didn't. And my biggest problem is money. You know, like I don't have no help for it. So when I fall, I was talking to each other, and like I learned a lot, even though I was only in there for 3 weeks. And the reason why I didn't complete the bill is because of financial. I missed one payment and then it doubled. And I called the class and I asked them. I told them I really like the class. I really appreciate it. I'm just struggling financially. I don't have the money to pay that $50. And then when you miss again, it's $100. I just didn't have the money for it.
So my understanding from reading the case summary, which nobody objected to me reading at the last hearing, is that probation was recommending revocation. And the reason why they were recommending revocation was because of a new number 1. My understanding is that new number 1 has been rejected.
That's correct.
So is there a new number one out there other than that?
Not that we're aware of.
All right, so according to the court summary, it says probationer was arrested. And it's the same complainant, same offense. That's why they want revocation. But then that case has been rejected by the state. So now my other question is, then we're only here. But if you wish to stay on probation in this court, there's to be no more contact with her.
But she is the mother of his children, so can we clarify?
No contact with her. If he wants to have visitation with the children, then it needs to be through a third party. There's to be no letters to her. There's to be no, I'm sorry. If you have closed with her, then what will end up happening? You'll have to get a third party to go pick up your items. And my suggestion is that there be a police escort for that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'll deny the motion to alter and amend conditions. There's going to be partial GPS, waive fees, and GPS for employment only. And there's to be no contact with Siobhan, Chavon Sims. And I'm going to keep him on deferred adjudication. However, if you remain on deferred adjudication, if you come back before the court, the full range of punishment will be open to the court, which is up to 10 years in prison. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And I believe you all have reached an agreement where it was going to be, what, 6? So the agreement that you had reached with them was that if you were revoked, the most you could be sentenced to is 6 years. You're going to have to do some research to see if there's any type of program. Where are we on compliance?
Your Honor, Mr. Moody came in, I believe, last week, asking assistance from the court to be heard in reference to his GPS tracking device.
Yes.
We're requesting it be changed from partial to tracking only. He's currently at Haven for Hope in the courtyard area, and he does have a job right now. The issue is with partial.
The mention of Haven for Hope tells us he's in a homeless shelter. For the court, this is a red flag for instability. It's incredibly difficult to maintain a strict GPS schedule or attend classes when you don't have a stable home base.
He can only have the one job. He's looking to get another job to make money to make it out of Haven for Hope, get an apartment, stabilize himself in the community. So that's the reason why we filed this motion for your consideration.
All right, State, are you in agreement with tracking?
We are not, Your Honor.
Amended to include a TAP evaluation. He was extended for 3 years. Then we come back about a year ago in June 2024 for our second MTR, where the conditions were altered and amended again at that point to add no contact with the victim and partial GPS. Additionally, Your Honor, over his history of his probation, he has had 5 positive tests for marijuana. He has had 2 trips to Bear County outpatient treatment. At no point had he attempted to even begin his parenting classes in almost 5 years of probation. He has not completed any of his community service hours. He has not paid any of his fines and fees. It appears to the state that he's not interested in completing his probation as required to by Your Honor, and therefore we feel that 3 years prison would be appropriate sentence.
All right, in defense?
Judge, I'd like to call my client as a witness, just
Sure. Did you raise your right hand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. Make sure you keep your voice up so that the court reporter can hear. If
Yes.
you state your name for the record.
Andre Alonso, and I have to pay for my brother's funeral also. So it kind of took a toll on me financial wise. And for a while I was just depressed. I kind of, that's what happened with the first violation. When I lost my sister and my mom, I kind of didn't want to be here, you know, like a lot was happening. So
So let me ask you this. So, were you living at Haven for Hope, or were you on the street, or what was your situation?
First, temporarily, I was with Siobhan Sims, which is mother of my kids, which is the one I have this case with. And
Why were you with her? Didn't he have a no contact order?
No, that was prior, ma'am.
It was after I think the second MTR.
Probably that would be better than
Yes, ma'am.
your finger. All right.
Um, yeah, so, I was.
So you did work, at any point that I know you've been, moving around, did you lose your ID or social security card?
Yes, twice, actually. Oh, well, right now I'm on my 11th social security card. And I don't know if anybody knows this, but after you're only supposed to have 10 in a lifetime. Right now I'm on my 11th. I just recently got that back like 3 days before I came to jail. The caseworker at Haven for Hope, she gave me got my birth certificate for me. I haven't had, but you have to have one to get the other, and that was like hard, you know. And, I finally was able to get the paperwork from the jail, a printout of the photocopy. I don't know what it's called, but I was able to get that, and the ID place took it and gave me my license, which was December like 14th. I went to the appointment and I got my license around January. And then I had to schedule an appointment for Social Security, but they're not taking walk-ins no more. That's an appointment. So I had to wait till February like 18th to go in to get that. And I just received that 3 days before I came to jail. And that was the problem with my employment. I wasn't able to get a job because I was working at a temp agency, which I came to see you in February because it was kind of hard to get myself together because I couldn't get the job. And the only job that I was able to get, GPS didn't want me to do it because it was a temporary job. So I kind of fell off with that, you know, because I was working there. They didn't want me to work over a certain amount of hours. I was trying to get them.
Okay, so let me interrupt you. So you've got your ID, you've got your driver's license, your birth certificate now, right?
Yes, my case manager at Haven has my.
This highlights a common hurdle, the probation trap. GPS monitoring requires pre-approved, static locations. If a defendant takes a gig economy or temp job with changing sites, the technology that's supposed to keep them out of jail actually prevents them from working.
I told her to have her call me, and they video called me, and she was crying. She said she wanted to see me. I haven't seen her in a month. So that's how we set up the arrangement for me to meet with them at the park, and I played with them at the park for about an hour and a half, and I left, and that's how I picked up the violation number 29.
Okay, and do you want to stay on probation?
Yes, I do need the help because I'm struggling by myself. Miserable. It's hard. And it's been times I don't know where to go. You know,
Okay.
and I do have somebody that's kind of like willing to support me. It's a friend of mine, possibly girlfriend, just to be honest. And
Well, to be honest, here's the thing. This is what the problem is. He's been on probation for 5 years. He hasn't done anything. The only thing you keep doing is you keep picking up more violations and you haven't learned anything. Now you're saying, I have somebody to support me. That's the problem. You're supposed to be supporting yourself. You're hanging your star to this person to support you. If something were to happen to them, has no home, who has a criminal case pending and is not taking care of his business. So that relationship, I can tell you, that relationship is not going to work out because at some point in time, she's going to get tired of having to lift and carry you on her back. She's going to want you to carry her once in a while, and you can't do it. You can't do it financially because you don't have a job. You can't provide her a home because you don't have one. And as you said it, you're probably going to need another Social Security card because the jail is probably going to lose it. So you haven't done anything. In 5 years, why have you not completed parenting classes in 5 years?
it's $25 a week.
All right. So in 5 years, why have you not had a job? How are you supporting yourself? Were you living off your mom, living off your dad,
No, ma'am.
living off of relatives?
I was working at Hooters prior to my mom. I actually had a savings account and everything.
So why haven't you paid $25 for parenting classes?
That was prior to me even being on probation. My mom passed in 2020. And my sister passed before that.
Testing positive for that, and you have a prescription. So that's the only thing you've been able to do. You got a prescription for marijuana, but you haven't done parenting classes. You've done nothing. And you haven't done your BIP class. You haven't done anything.
That's $25.
Here's the thing. You're using the fact that you don't have money for anything, not to do anything. And if you were to come into this courtroom and say, Judge, I haven't done the parenting classes or the BIP class because I don't have any money. If that were the allegations in the motion, I would be like, okay, you know what? He hasn't violated his probation at all. He just hasn't been able to do that because of funding. But that's not the case with you. You have done nothing.
Everything that I haven't done is because of funding this board. I don't have.
No, you violated your probation 3 times. All you had to do was not violate your probation. You haven't done anything. And there's nothing that can be said today that will make me think that you're going to do anything when you're released, because every time, who knows, maybe I'm just going to die in my house and have somebody let cats come in my house and eat me. I don't know. But what I'm trying to express to you is it is not anybody else's duty to take in an adult male and support them. You're not even supporting your children financially.
Right.
That's another violation of probation. So in the 5 years that you have been on probation, you haven't even supported your children because you don't have a steady job.
No.
But here we are, we're going out procreating and we don't have our lives together. I just don't think probation is appropriate for you. And there's nothing else that I can do for you anymore. I tried my best. I told you to pick up the phone, call probation when you need something, come into the court if you need something, and you have done neither. The only thing you've done is violate your probation, and you violated it 3 times, and you've been extended, and extending you doesn't help. You should have been done with this probation.
I put, like you said, I kind of depend on other people too much in this, like right now.
We've reached the point of judicial exhaustion. After 5 years of extensions and 3 violations, the judge has decided that the court's resources are being wasted. Revocation is often a final admission that the defendant is not currently capable of following rules.
I depend on a lot of people instead of trying to get things done myself, but I do try to get stuff done, Ms. Boyd. There's been many times that I've been searching for jobs and it just told me no. And I did have an opportunity for a job right before at Denny's. I know it doesn't quite mean anything, but I got my income tax, on my car. I haven't even touched it.
Here's the thing, I don't even understand how people are getting an income tax refund and they don't have employment.
I was working last year partially.
All right, and you didn't pay $25 to do parenting. This is what the court is going to do. 29 is true. The court is going to grant the motion, revoke you. Find you guilty, revoke, give you credit for any time served. Does anybody want to speak with regards to time?
Judge, we would just ask for the minimum.
Trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney. Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal, and I'm sorry, there's an affirmative finding of family violence. You have a right to appeal, and that right to appeal is a limited right to appeal. It relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you're on deferred adjudication. Because this is a felony conviction and an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, can I ask one more question?
Sure.
So I do have 390 days or 300 and something days. Is that accounted for as 2 for 1?
Anytime that no. So here's the thing. This is a misunderstanding that people have. The court is not in charge of whether you get 2 for 1 or day for day. That has